Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome to the Twisted Beanstalk. Okay, for you guys that are new here, my name is Shanine. I know I'm an odd one. What can I say? But it's okay because I paint babies. Oh yes, I freaking do. Wow, she looks really pale in this light. I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, so hello. I'm a reborn artist in the fantasy genre. And God, I haven't done a painting video in forever. So anybody who's watching, thank you. Thank you for watching me and watching my gong show. Actually, I'm just gonna seal these babies. This is not the last layer. This is actually just the in-between layer. It's just something that I like to do. I find that it makes the color a lot more vibrant. Yeah, so I like to lock in the color, bake it, and then kind of start again from there. It's just gonna give it a lot of depth. And they're gonna be vampire babies, so you know my vampire babies like lots of color. I like lots of color. I know, shocking. I like lots of color. Oh yeah, I do. It's okay, I'm just petting my dog. Speaking of dogs, they love that bed. Okay, so this is the Harlow kit from Bountiful Baby. It's a newer kit. They're gonna be vampires, and now I'm just gonna seal them up. So I'm gonna show you what I do, or how I mix my medium. So this is a thinning medium, Genesis thinning medium. If you do a lot of washes, you're not gonna need to do this because it's probably just gonna, I don't know. But if you want to really build color and build realism and really lock in that color, then I suggest, and your paint is a little bit thicker, I suggest sealing it in the middle and then starting again. So anyways, I used the Genesis thinning medium, and I am actually going to put on a little bit of glazing gel. I like to just be a rebel and use different things. But I do use glazing gel in the middle because I find that if you use a coarser brush when you put it on, or after you put it on and use a coarser brush, it almost gives it like a texture that is not so smooth. So it's a little bit of a rougher, it's a little bit rougher. It's just the way I'm gonna explain it. Sticks to it like halfway through. It's almost like a gesso, I guess. Gesso. So halfway through it's gonna be like giving that texture for all your paint to stick to it. Just like, oh, I love you vinyl, paint me. Yeah, I mean, it says it just like that too. What? I'm pretty sure your vinyl come on now. Your vinyl talks to you. Yes, it does. Yes, it freaking does. Oh, maybe it's just me. That wouldn't be the first time. So I'm just adding a tiny bit of yellow just to give it a little bit of warmth because they're feeling a little bit cold on this spring Washington day. And I did put a little bit of thinner in it at the beginning. I'm gonna put a little more thinner. Does not have to be thick. This is only if you want a lot of depth and if you're using different colors, different shades. You want to lock in that color and then start again. I'm going to explain to you kind of why I do it. So here's the hand, and it doesn't have a huge amount of color on it, but reds tend to go blotchy. You can use washes of red and kind of do it in thinner layers, but eventually if you put too many layers and you don't bake it or you don't seal it, it's going to become patchy. So it's just good to give it that nice seal. That's a little bit hard for me to say with my awesome lisp. I know. Just gotta embrace your lisp sometimes. Doesn't have to be, you don't want it really thick because then it's just not gonna cure properly. So then I can start on color again and just make it really a lot of depth in there. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that also this dish at the beginning already had a little bit of linseed oil in it. So another thing that I do like to use halfway through is the linseed oil with the Genesis. It's just gonna give it that little bit of a sheen. Then I just use a coarse brush. This is my favorite brush. It's a Bob Ross. God, I've had this forever. Bob Ross. I think it's, you know what? I don't even know what it's called. So, yep, there's nothing more I can say about that one. So I'm just mop brushing the hands again for the wrinkles. You don't want to get any pooling in there. And then I'm just going to go along the vinyl and give it some texture. I don't know what I'm talking about, okay? Just don't trust me. Trust me or don't trust me, but be prepared. Be freaking prepared. I love the halfway mark because it's like starting to come to life. I guess I can't show you the other arm because I just painted them all, but I'll show you the difference between, okay, that's probably not a great example, but anyways, it just brings life to the vinyl. There's like a tiny, tiny bit of yellow white. And because you have that glazing gel in there and the Genesis thinner, it makes your paints go way more translucent. I rarely use Genesis thinner. Figured out that, oh yeah, the Genesis thinner makes the paints go all translucent. And so I only used thinner with the color. And then eventually found my stride. But yeah, it'll go super shiny. Like Genesis thinner by itself will make the vinyl go extremely shiny. You can matte it at the end if you want. You know, use like a matte Genesis matte varnish. But that is another one that I rarely use. I'll use it if I am near the end and it looks like maybe I have 2 layers left and I find it to be too shiny, then I can use matte, you know, just to take it down a tiny bit. Just really depends on what you're going for and what kind of painting you do. Took me forever to figure that out. My recipes. Recipe for disaster. Yep, that sounds about right. I like mixing my colors, are my favorite part. And I know that it would be easier if I just did the same palette every single time, you know, and just like stored it in jars and then just use that color, but I just make so many different kinds of dolls, so I just start basically from the beginning every time. But that's just something that I love to do. It's not challenging for me. This is all about movement as well. You don't need a lot of it. And the easier way for me to get it all even is to use a flat brush. Then you can push the varnish around without it getting too patchy or too thick. And it's actually really important to move your brushes around though. It's important to get used to that habit, to get used to the pressure. I think that's another thing that kind of comes in time. You really learn your paintbrushes and your sponges and when to press and when to not press. So like the pressure that you use with certain brushes, you get really used to as well. And it's a big part of it. I think that part is super important. Sometimes you just gotta like talk to your paintbrushes and be like, hi, how are you? Oh yeah, you're so nice and flat. I bet you would just push that Genesis thinner around so good. It's okay, you can do it. Yeah, you're made for this. You're made for this, right? And then they go on so even and nice. It's Sometimes you just gotta groom your brushes. Right? Make them feel wanted. I all of a sudden feel really super tired, like I could just fall asleep. Oh man, what the heck is going on? When you're doing this with the dry brush, it's gonna take away those streaks. You don't want to put your mediums on, your paint on, and then it be all streaky all over the place. Those that follow my painting, I don't know what it is. I mean, I love sponges. Like, I collect them like a hoarder. Like, I hoard sponges, yet I don't even really use a lot of them. It's like some friggin' crazy mental thing with me. I don't know, you guys. I need help. But, okay, so, of course she looks shiny right now because it's still wet. But I'm going to go ahead and bake this baby twice. These babies, I should say. Twice, one on one side, one on the other, just in case, to make sure everything cures evenly, and then cool them and then start again. So there I go. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you for hanging out with me as usual, and I will see you later. Bye.